Hi, everyone. So, today I'm going to be walking you through the integrated immersive STEM learning environment that I designed for my second grade students. Um, and this project uses Minecraft and Scratch Junior to help students understand urban, suburban, and rural communities. And they're doing it through hands on learning and digital storytelling. So student tasks, these are kind of just the core um, things that they're going to be able to do throughout the entire week. This is a project that's going to take them 5 days, hopefully. So basically, they are going to listen to instruction, they are going to be able to plan their community. They're going to be able to build it in Minecraft, and then they're going to be able to record their explanation in Scratch Junior and also be able to share their work and contribute to discussions. Each task is building towards a full demonstration of being able to understand the content and the tools that we were using. So, the resources that are needed for this project, um, I intentionally made it so that I was blending traditional tools, such as crayons, markers, pencils, with the digital tools like the iPad, the Minecraft, and Scratch Junior. Um, this mix really supports UDL design because they have multiple ways to think, plan, and express their ideas. And I had UDL in the back of my mind throughout this entire project. Um, so now I'm going to move into kind of just walking you through what each day is going to look like. So basically, the presentation that you're looking at is the presentation that the students would also be looking at. So basically, day one, they are going to just be learning about the communities. So they're going to be learning about urban, suburban, and rural communities. Um, we are going to use visuals. We're going to have discussions, and we're going to do a lot of comparing between between the three communities. I'm sorry, to build that background knowledge. The goal is for the students to be able to identify key features of each community type before we go into actually building in Minecraft. So then we're still on day one, but now we're in a urban community slide. And here I would introduce urban communities. We are obviously going to talk about the tall buildings that they see in the photo. We're going to talk about how the streets are busy, how the transportation and how it's a very populated area. And students are going to kind of practice identifying different features that they see in that image. Then we would move into we're still in day one, sorry, but we would move into suburban communities. So, same concept as urban. They're looking at the photo. We're kind of talking about what's different, what's the same, and, doing a little bit of comparing. And then finally, on day one, we would move into rural communities. Same concept as urban and suburban. We're looking at the open land, the farms. We're looking at how the environment shapes the way people live. And we're also doing a big discussion about comparing all three now, because now we've talked about all three, we've learned about all three, and this is going to segue us in straight into day two, where they have to ultimately choose one to do their Minecraft project on. Then we would move into, obviously, the next day, we would move into day two. So at this point, students are going to choose one community type and they're going to begin their planning of their world. And they're going to use a planning sheet that you will see at the end of the PowerPoint. And basically, they're going to sketch their world, and they're going to write a little bit about what is in their world. So if they chose a rural community, they might sketch the farm, they might sketch open land, they might sketch like maybe one or two houses. And those are all things that they would be then writing on the planning sheet as well. So obviously, once I explained that to them on the previous slide, they would then move into their drawing time. So they, like I just said, drawing their community, sketching it, adding the special features, and this sketch becomes the blueprint for their actual Minecraft build. And we would end day 2 by having their sketches done and actually solidifying what world they would be building. Then we would move into day 3. So day 3 is the big build day. This is where they would start building their communities in Minecraft. So they obviously just planned it, and the objective is that the community build is going to match the community type that they chose, and it's also going to match the planning sheet. We want everything to be cohesive so that I know that they are understanding what's being asked. I would give them, before they start building, give them basic refresher on Minecraft. At least for my second grade students, this isn't the first time that they've used Minecraft, so they are familiar with the controls, but I think it's important that we could just kind of go over them a little bit so that we're building that independence and we're like lessening frustration for students who might not remember or who might struggle a little bit. So we would go over those. And then that would basically end the slides for day 3, because at that point they're just building, doing those things. There's no more slides. And that's what they have to accomplish. And then day 4, I'd open the slideshow back up. And at this point, they are hopefully going to finish their Minecraft build on day 4, and they're going to transition to Scratch Junior. So they're obviously going to record their voice, create a simple animation that explains their community. So I have a slide that gives them step-by-step directions of what they need to do. Once again, they've used Scratch Junior before, so this shouldn't be too much of a foreign concept, but it's important that I give them steps and just kind of guide them through the process. So the oral explanation of their community, to me, is a very important part for students who struggle with writing. I wanted to add the oral explanation part of it so that my students who really do struggle with writing were able to still explain their thought process and their thinking throughout this whole project. So at the end of day 4, they should have their Minecraft build should be done, and their Scratch Junior explanation should be done. Then we move into day 5. Day 5 is kind of the fun part. This is obviously celebration day. So students are going to watch each other's Scratch Junior explanations. They're going to do a gallery walk, and they are going to kind of just reflect on the entire process, reflect about what they learned. They're gonna reflect on their builds, their friends' builds, what's different, what's the same, and we're just gonna kind of have one big celebration day. I will also on this day be going over the expectations for the gallery walk and how it's going to work. So, students need to be able to sit quietly and listen. They need to be able to look for different creative ideas to spark discussion. They obviously need to be kind, clapping for their peers, reinforcing just respectful listening and collaborative learning. And I will also show them the assessment checklist slide. So basically, the assessment is, was your community planned on the sheet? Did you build it in Minecraft? Did you record in Scratch Junior? And were you able to share your ideas? Now, for terms of this project, for this class, I added the assessment checklist or my assessment sheet to the PowerPoint, but I would take it off for the students. I just did it for the purposes of this actual project. And then
For
this is
my
the part where
project, I chose a rural
you
community.
can hear
In my
my Scratch
community,
Junior
there is not that many
explanation.
houses, and there is farmland, a farm, there is a church, and there are some trees. There's not a lot of houses, and there's not a lot of people. For my
So
Minecraft
basically, you
project,
heard my
I
Scratch Junior
chose a
explanation.
rural
And what
community.
I was going to
In my
say
community,
about
there is
this
not that
slide
many
is that
houses,
this is an
and
example of
there
a
is
full project. I
farmland,
had one
a
of my
farm,
students
there is a church,
actually do the
and
project
there are
for
some
me so that I
trees.
would have an
There's not
example
a lot of houses, and
for
there's
this
not a lot
STEM
of
class.
people.
And I'm still
For my
trying to
Minecraft
decide if
project,
I want
I
to keep it
chose
up
a
for my
rural
second graders
community. In my
when we do this
community,
project
there
next
is
year,
not that many
or
houses,
if I
and there is
this is only up for
farmland,
the
a
purpose of this
farm, there is a
graduate level
church,
course. But
and there
basically,
are some trees.
she
There's
picked a
not a lot of
community,
houses, and
she did
there's
her
not a lot
planning
of
sheet,
people.
and
For
then
my
she created her
Minecraft
Minecraft
project,
community
I
on her
chose
iPad.
a rural
We went
community.
through, she
In
showed
my
me different parts
community,
of it. I took
there is
pictures of
not
it
that
to
many
put on
houses,
this
and
presentation.
there is
And then I
farmland, a
actually
farm, there
forgot to
is a
have her do the
church,
Scratch Junior
and
part.
there
So
are
I
some
basically
trees.
just looked at
There's
her
not a lot of houses,
community and
and
I
there's not
recorded
a lot
it.
of people.
I think
For my
I will
Minecraft
probably
project,
keep it up
I
for my second
chose
graders
a
when I do
rural
the project,
community.
but
In my
that's something that I'm
community,
still
there
trying
is
to
not
figure
that
out
many
and decide if I'm
houses,
going to do or not.
and there is.
And then basically, I just have a slide at the end that is, you did it. You know, we went through this week long project. We used some pretty cool tools. You were able to show your thinking in a different way. And we're obviously just celebrating the students, the hard work at this point. Just reinforcing that they went through the entire STEM design cycle from start to finish to get this product of this Minecraft community with a platform that they love using. My students love using Minecraft, and I think it's a great way for them to be able to showcase their learning. And I really hope that you liked my presentation.